Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back. I'm Beth.
I'm Susan.
And we are the Two Over Two Stitchers. This is our special WIP Parade edition. I have quite a bit more than Susan does,
Yes.
right? As far as WIPs go. So today's, if you're new to cross stitch, WIPs are works in progress. So for me in particular, I typically do Mania. This year I did, so that's a new start every day in May. I also did Jolly July, which was a new start in July every day that was Christmas themed. And then I did Darktober, which was not every day, but I think I had about 15 or 20 new starts for October as well.
For me, this past year, I stitched a lot of smalls. So actually going through the WIP pile, and Beth and I have been ironing for about an hour now.
Yes, we have.
The ironing board's over there. As I was going through my WIP pile, I realized some I really do love and I'm excited to put some focus on this year to finish, and some I don't know if I'm in love with them anymore. So we shall see, and if anybody's got comments like ditch it or stitch it, that's cute. Ditch it or stitch it.
Ditch it or
ditch
stitch
it or
it.
stitch it, then just let us know.
Definitely, definitely. So we are just going to get right on in and start with this. I think Susan and I have both been really busy with Christmas-related stuff the past few weeks.
Very much.
So, so we're just going to get right in. So the very first one I'm going to show you today is called Mary Mary Needleworker. This is by Lindy Stitches. I have the PDF version of this. I'm not sure if she offers this as a PDF or not generally. I did some stitching for her for some model stuff, and this was a gift for that model stitching. So she sent it to me as a PDF, but I don't know that you can purchase it as such. So I don't have much done yet. I just have the bottom right hand tomato started here. This is on a piece of 28 count bluish gray Lugana of some sort, I think.
Pretty.
So that's my first one. And my second one is called Cat-O-Lantern, I think. It's out of the 2020, sorry, gang. Lord almighty, it's going to be the very last page. It is, of course.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's out of the 2020 Just Cross Stitch Magazine Halloween edition. This is it. This is the pattern.
Super cute.
I am doing this on a piece of brown perforated paper. And here's where I am so far with that.
And that one, I believe, is done by Misty Purcell from Luminous Fiber Arts.
Yes, I think it is.
And I love her designs lately. She's come out with some really cute ones for the Christmas holiday season, so they're on my list of need to get this.
Definitely, definitely. Your turn, Susan. Show us one.
Okay, so the first one is one that is ditch it or stitch it for me, because I'm not sure if I still love this. It is Cricket Collection, October. I started this probably 2 years ago. Myself and Jennifer Upton, who also has a YouTube, she's a friend of mine, we were at a Michigan Stitchers retreat, and this is, I think the material is why I'm not loving this. It's supposed to be a 32 count mocha linen, and you can see I've gotten the O done and the cat in the C. But here's the thing. I think with the dyeing of this fabric, it shrunk to maybe 36 count. It is so tiny. So the cat that you can see there, I was originally stitching this 2/2, and I've got some beautiful silk that I'm using that Jennifer gifted me, which is gorgeous, to do the main letters, like the OCT part.
Right.
Then I started the cat. The cat I was doing 2/2, and it was so bulky, and I don't know if the DMC was fuzzy. I just didn't love it. So I may pick this up again and see if I do like 100 stitches on it. Do I love it? If I don't love it, I might ditch it. I don't know. I think because I had such a rough start with the cat, and now, like I said, the cat's in 1/1. So my plan was then to do all the letters after this debacle. I thought, well, I'll do the letters 2/2 and have it be like a thicker look because the word October would be thicker. And then all the little accoutrements like the cats and the ghosts and that, I would do 1/2.
Okay, so is the cat 1/2 or 1/1?
I'm sorry, the cat's 1/2.
Okay, all right.
But like, can you see how tiny that is?
Yes.
That's really, like, it's either 36 or maybe, I don't know. I think it really, really shrunk. So I'm going to give it another go because I feel like I've probably invested 10 or 12 hours at least into it between the ripping and the all that stuff. But I like it.
I do too. And
it's
I like
a
it on
darling
fabric.
chart. Darling chart. Thank you. So I might give it some love. I like it better now that it's ironed.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So that way you can get it all wrinkly again, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So I have this one. This the first one I'm going to show you is called Trick or Treat. It is by Barbara Anna Designs. It's out of the 2020 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, the October or fall issue, whatever you want to call it. This is a photo of the stitched piece.
Cute.
And this is my portion of that. There it is.
He just needs eyes.
He does need some eyes. I agree.
Or she. I'm sorry. She's in a skirt.
I'm sorry. Well, this piece needs eyes. How's
Yes.
that? Right.
Perfect.
And then I have another one out of the 2020 Halloween. Just saw this one. What did I do with it? Just Cross Stitch magazine. I have got to do a better job of this, people. I'm just going to say that because this is not working well for me. There it is. Oh.
Oh, very good. So you don't show the chart underneath it since we can't show charts.
Yeah, so here it is. Here's a picture of it. It's called Quaker Pumpkins.
Oh, that's cute.
And here he is. I have one little cat done. I have 3 of them. This is on a piece of 28 count scrap of some sort. And I am doing 1/2 on this.
Okay.
Because I wanted it to have that more primitive look.
Okay.
About it. Okay, and that's it for my
Okay.
two.
Next one that I have is Merry Christmas, My Dear by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is such a cute little piece. Now that I've ironed it, I might love it. I was getting frustrated. This is how much I have done on it. And I think I was getting frustrated because on this petite point linen, which is the 32 count, Beth and I have always had this discussion. It's hard to get your needle through the printed dots sometimes. And I hate white stitching. I mean, I know it looks really pretty, but I hate white stitching. But now that I've kind of ironed this, I kind of like it. So I'll definitely pick this back up and keep working on it. But
oh, you have, okay.
So I've got the bottom of the snow done and the words, and I like it much better now that I ironed it.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking if you didn't have much done with the white, you could use maybe a sulky white instead. That would only.
Do you
be
know,
one
I'm going to
stream
try
instead.
that next time. I think for white. I don't think I'm going to rip this out. I'll just
No,
keep going. But if
yeah.
I do white again, I'll do a sulky because. Yeah.
See if that works better.
Yeah.
For that. My next one is a Autumn Alphabet by Scarlet House. Here's the pattern, and this is on a 28 count. Maybe mushroom Lugana or khaki Lugana, something like that. Here's my progress. That pumpkin is huge. I'm just gonna say that, folks.
Yes. I mean, kind of good for like TV stitching where you don't have to pay attention as much, but still, that would take forever.
And then my next one is the Haunted House Trio by Waxing Moon. I am doing all 3 of these as on one piece, as one piece of stitching.
Ooh, I like that.
And I started the first one here. There we go.
Very cool.
Using all the called for DMC colors.
Very cool.
Your turn.
Okay, as you guys can tell, I do a lot of seasonal stitching where Beth does more traditional samplers if you haven't seen any of our other videos. So the next one up I have is for Easter, and this is Fancy That. And it's a little Easter hanger with some chicks and some eggs. You know, this was made back in 2002, guys. So they would take the actual photograph and put it on the front of the chart. And I had this yellow banding. So this is how far I am. As you can see, it looks cuter in person than on the picture because the picture is so far back. This is going to be a focus piece for me because I really do want to get this done for Easter this year. And I've got, like, in between a doorway, I've got some perfect places I could hang
That
this.
is beautiful. I really
Thank
like
you.
that. I
Thank
like
you.
that. And that the yellow edging on the banding really helps bring out the chick, I
The
think,
cute little
and the
chickens,
yellows.
yeah. And I am using fancy floss for most of this.
Are
So
you?
because
Okay.
the eggs were so big, I wanted to see some variegation in it.
Okay, those are cute. I like that.
Next up.
All right, next up is Blackbird Design, My Heart Can Rest. That's the photo, and I love this piece. I just got to get back to it.
Ooh.
There it is. Border mat all the way around. Just got to finish some flowers and the middle, and it will be finished.
Very pretty.
And then one of a couple of different full coverage pieces I have is Beckert's Seeds 1903. This is from a Etsy shop called Stony Knob Farm Patterns. They have a set of these that look like they're on feed sacks. Pretty much is what they look like, vintage feed sacks. This is the bottom right hand corner that I started. So I have a long ways to go on this piece, but I think it'll be adorable when once it's finished.
It will be.
And that's on a piece of, I think it's 16 count brown Ada.
Very nice. Okay, my next WIP is Needlework Press. These cute little clocks. It's Halloween time. When I was in, what inspired me to do this, I was in a Marshall's and they had a clock that was on clearance for $4 because it was broken, and I knew that I was going to take the whole insides out anyway. So I picked a piece of fabric, and this is 32, I think it's Kermit linen.
That's so pretty.
And this is how far I am. And it will fit in the opening of the clock. It's a cream colored clock, so I like that contrast. Again, this is something I definitely want to get done for next year for Halloween. And really, guys, I just have the numbers to do in a little bit. I mean, I don't know why I stopped. I think I stopped because I started Christmas gifts and that.
Right.
But
okay.
I like it, and I'll eventually put it in the clock and show you guys.
That's adorable.
Thank you.
All right, so the next one I have is, as you're noticing, a lot of these that I have are more fall because I participated in Dark October, as I mentioned, and then I went into Christmas stitching, so I really haven't had time to get back to some of these yet. So, and some of them I don't have much left to do in the case of this one. Lizzie Kate's Autumn ABCs. It's one of her small snippet pieces. And here it is. It's on a piece of 28 count mushroom Lugana, I think. Just a scrap piece. I don't have much left to do. Just that top half of the alphabet and the gigantic pumpkin. And then the other one is Scarlet House again. Seeking Refuge. How appropriate for this year. And here's my start, as I usually start in the bottom right hand corner, and I did this one as well.
That's so pretty, the black and the pink.
Yeah, I think that'll be sharp when it's finished. I just, okay, your turn.
Okay, my next one, I can't show you the chart because I only have the printed chart. I lost the outside portion, but it is called Wedding Row by Bent Creek, and it's one of the long, skinny ones. They have a Christmas row, they have Halloween row. This one, the words say, "Of my love, be sure." And it has like ribbon designs kind of around it and some hearts. This was originally, they wanted to do it in almost like a red, a blue, and a cocoa color, but our bedroom upstairs is all beachy. So I have very little done, and I'm using a sulky variegated, so you can see I've just got one of the starts of the ribbon, and that's an L for the love, I
That is
think.
so pretty.
But it'll be like Caribbean, you know, guys, I would even have to look to see where the heck I'm at. Oh, it is on the L for love. But it'll be pretty when it's done. It's the Caribbean colors for our bedroom. Just a very small start on this, but it was like one of those impulse starts where I went, oh, I like that, and I have
like that
this.
fabric you chose for that as well.
Thank you. And so, yeah, so that's that. I don't know that I'll focus on it, but
How do you like using the sulkies?
I actually like them. I've only used them a couple times. I did a piece that actually hangs in my office at work, and it says, today is a good day to have a good day. And I did it on a pale, or like a medium like periwinkle, and then I used a variegated like navy purple, and it was like monochromatic. And I love the way it's stitched, because if you look sideways, you can kind of see the variegation. It doesn't scream variegation, so I liked them. They're quick and easy to use.
Because you're only using
One strand,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I might do more of those in the future, especially the white, like you said,
Yeah.
or the black. Like black would be so much better.
Yeah. Okay, the next one I have is, I have a love-hate relationship with this chart. I'm just going to say this. It is a petite gold dimensions kit. It's called Santa's Secret. Yes, I know it is small, people. I realize this, okay? But I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's on a white Aida that you stitch it on. And so you're stitching a lot of white on white with all of that beard, okay? So your eyes get tired very quickly. Here he is.
But you have most of the white done.
I do. I do. But is he going to get done this Christmas like I had hoped? No. But I'm hoping he'll be done by next Christmas, 2021.
You know,
Christmas.
you might start on the colors, and that might motivate you.
I might, but my thing about this kind of stuff is that I like, once I've started in a corner, I like to go this way.
Okay.
I'm not a person that skips around a lot.
Okay.
So I really want to kind of get the rest of this done. I was telling Susan this earlier, when I stitch on something like this that I know is going to take me a while, that I'm not just going to sit down and stitch the whole thing, I try to identify what's my next goal, right? Like, what's the next goal? So my next goal is really to get this section here of his beard done. So the next time I pick it up, that is my goal, is to kind of get this section done. And then I'll probably chunk the tree and ornament stuff up into two. The thing about the tree and ornament that you can't tell here is that there is a lot of metallic stuff in that tree and ornament, which is why I've kind of wanted to wait. And I prefer to do metallic stuff and any metallics and my back stitching to last. So that's why I'm kind of been holding off on that a bit. And then my other one to show you is another Blackbird design. This is called Midnight Ride, and I am stitching the big one here.
Love it.
It's the one I started with, and all I have so far done is goes this way. I think we decided, right?
Yeah.
His wing so far. So I really need to get back to this. It really is not a large piece to stitch. It's just, you know, I didn't finish it in October. So this again is on a piece of Lugano mushroom or some color like that I had in my stash. When it comes to those kinds of Mania Dark October kinds of things, I do a lot of just digging and pulling scraps from my stash.
Well, we all should probably be doing that, because I'm sure all of us have more to stitch than what we can do.
Don't ask my wife about that, please.
My next one is Words to Live By, Heartstring Samplery, and this is the love version of it. What drew me to this was a piece that I believe she did several different words, versions of this. This is the verse from 1 Corinthians. So love is patient, love is kind, and then it goes into the whole verse. You can see the size of it is a pretty big piece. I am doing this for our bedroom as well, and this is where I'm at. So so you can see it'll go across to love is patient, love is kind. That's the width of it, and then I have to go all the way down the piece. I love this. I'm using Classic Colorworks Caribbean Waters for the and just one color, and you can see the variegation. It does go light to dark.
It's beautiful.
I will say the one thing that is a little tricky on this is that for the wording to fit into the space, all the letters are not the same. So one L might go across 3 stitches and then the little thing that goes up. One L might go across 4 stitches and the thing is up. Or one S might be, or one E might have 7 stitches on the bottom, another E might have 8 stitches. So you can't, I have had to frog this a couple times and now it's at a good spot. But you can't assume in your head, oh, that's a T, and you have to look at the chart each time.
Right.
So this I do want to get back to. I would love to finish this year. And part of me says I just need to pick it up and do a word a week or something like that. Just a little bit of progress each day would get this going. But I love it.
That might be something that would be maybe easy to take to work and work on during your lunch hour.
Yes.
The lunch hour.
Yes.
Maybe. All right, we're back. Sorry for the pause here.
Dog interruption.
That's right. It's all good. So the next one I have to show you is another waxing moon design called Halloween Critter Trio. I am doing these separately, 3 different ones. And I'm just starting with the first one. I don't know which one that one was off the top of my head. They all have the same border around them, and I stitched the border for the first one.
Ooh.
And this is on a piece of raw linen, I think, 28 count, I believe.
That's pretty.
So I think that those will be sharp. Okay, here we go. This is kind of funny. I have a story behind this one. In my previous life, somewhere, shape, or form, I must have decided that I was a glutton for punishment because I have several dimension kits. And so apparently I thought I needed another one. The Secret Santa wasn't enough to be working on at one time. So I started this, it's called Sunlit Fox. And no, it's not a smaller dimension one, it's a bigger one. So here you go. Here it is. I think that's a great fall piece. So here's confession time. I normally start in the corner, but Dimensions is not really good about telling you how much extra fabric they've given you. So when it comes to those kits, I typically start in the middle somewhere. I can't show you the pattern for this, but let me tell you, the pattern for this is on 2 big pages.
Oh, wow.
And it's all colored, right? So the letters, the same symbol might be used more than once in different colors, all that kind of stuff. And in some cases, you have to blend 2 or 3 threads together to get a certain color right. I started this, people. I started somewhere in the middle. I can tell that because of where my fabric's folded. I didn't highlight any of that chart that I started.
So you don't know where.
So I have no idea where I started at. Okay, yes, yeah. I don't know which is the top and which is the bottom even. So I'm just going to show you. And yes, it is on Black Ada. That's right. And there's my start.
Challenge. That's a challenge.
Let us all learn from my mistake. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us not do that. I don't know.
You're going to have to find landmarks or something.
I'm going to have to figure out something.
Wow.
I don't really know what that's going to be yet. I do not know.
Now, would you ditch it? Like, would you stitch it or... Okay, so, like, you know, love it or list it, stitch it or ditch it. Would you ditch it because of that? Or would you carry on?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm struggling. It may end up being ditched.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. Would you ditch it? Would you stitch it?
Yes. Good question. Because the other thought process behind that is, if you fall out of love with a project, are you okay with, there's a couple places on Facebook I know where they'll say it's like rescue a WIP or adopt a WIP.
Right.
Like, are you cool with letting someone else do it? Like, I would be fine with that, because to me, I would rather give somebody joy in stitching something versus just letting it sit. If it sits and I'm not working on it, that gives me stress.
But the only thing about this, though, the reason why I chose this pattern to begin with is I'm going to say something a little controversial here, but please don't take it the wrong way. But my grandfather, back in the quote day, if you will, fox hunted.
Oh, okay.
And I have a handmade fox horn that he used to fox hunt with.
Oh.
And I really had thought I would stitch this so that I could have the fox horn thing that he handmade displayed with it, is the process behind it. Yeah. So I really chose this pattern with a meaning to it. So it's hard for me to say I'm just going to ditch it without at least trying to see if I can figure out where it's at first.
Perfect.
But I'm not really sure yet.
Alrighty, on to more Christmas. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Ornamental Joy. I know so many of you have done this one.
So pretty.
This one I am at the top, and I've only gotten this much done. Now, I will tell you, I started this, my dad is battling cancer right now, and he's doing well. He's 83, and he's 2 years into his treatment and is doing okay. But this was kind of my piece when we would go for radiation, and I'd sit and work on it there. I don't know if it's like associated with that I don't work on it or what. And then I was like, well, the word joy kind of contradicts when I started this. I mean, I should be joyful he's still around, so I should look at it that way. But either way, it's not on my high priority to do, although I don't think I'm going to ditch it. But It's not a high priority. So I might take the threads. I'm thinking those that are not high priorities, I may take the threads out of the packages and make like a little basket or something of things I've started that are not a high priority, so that I can rotate the floss into other projects without buying new floss. You know what I mean?
Your only problem with that is going to be if it's a fancy floss and the dye lot changes.
Oh, yeah.
You could have maybe...
I think I did all DMC, though.
Okay, if you do all DMC, it's a little bit more reassuring, but if you've used fancy floss, you might not want to do that with a fancy floss.
Oh, no, because I learned that lesson the bad way when I did my husband's sign that says wood poop here again.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I had to go buy another strand, and I had to cut in the middle of the strand to get the closest. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Okay, you're up.
Not going there again, huh?
Nope.
All right, my next one is a Plum Street sampler. It's called the Pink House Sampler. I'm going to turn it this way so you can actually see the chart itself. Sorry for the glare. There it is. I am doing this on a piece of denim, 28 count, I think it is, by Weeks Dye Works. I have changed a few things on this, so I will go through that. So here's my progress. I have worked on this in the past week. I've been trying to fill in the grass and the bottom border the rest of the way. I'm hoping that I'm going to get that done before the end of the year, the grass and the bottom border.
This is my second favorite of all your WIPs.
So this will be in memory of my mom when it is finished. The change that I made is, if you can tell, the vine over here on the side is stitched in a brownish color. That same brown color was called for all the grass at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer my grass to be green, so I'm using endive instead for my grass at the bottom. I was fine with the vine being a brownish color, but I really wanted my endive to be more of have a green hue to it. So I have quite a ways still to go on this because the house is gigantic.
Yes, it is. But I love it on that fabric.
I am too. As soon as I saw the fabric, I knew that I had to figure out a way to make that work.
Yeah.
My other one is the Early American series by Little House Needleworks. I'm doing them all in one. I'm going to show you the one that I have done first, which is the Molly Pitcher. Is that right? Pitcher?
Yes.
Yeah. I always want to put an R in there somewhere where there's not supposed to be one. So this is the bottom one. And I am doing this on the called for, which is I think it's a 30 count tin roof, I think is what it is, I think. So I'm doing them all in one piece. I have one done. I don't know if I'll get the whole thing done this year or not in 2021, but I'm hoping to at least get 3 or 4 more.
Sure. Love it.
Done.
All right, my next little one got sidetracked. These are, of course, my hands-on design. They are the brand new flamingo ornaments. My goal was to do these not for anybody but for myself because for those of you that have been watching a little bit, I have a tropical room and a tropical tree, and we've got Santa in board shorts and flamingos on it. So here's where I'm at on the flamingos. I wasn't crazy about the floss. I don't think I'm using fancy floss on this one, but I kind of made the difference between the dark and the light pink a little bit more noticeable on them. But I'm going to do all 3 of these on this light blue linen. I think it's a 28 count. It's what I usually use. But I love these, love them, and I really do. This will be probably a project that I really want to focus on for next year so I can get them up on the tree next year. And my tree goes up early, so...
Yeah, those are very cute.
Yeah, by October 1st, I want to have those done so I can finish them and be set.
Awesome.
Love them. Here's my favorite piece in the world of Beth's. I want to grow up and be just like Beth.
To be honest, this is my very favorite WIP
Yes.
as well. I love it. I have a hard time putting it down when I pick it up to stitch on it. But I have to set it down because it is a gigantic WIP. Okay? No joke, people. It is large. But I am never going to get tired of it. It is by Lila Studios, and yes, it is Let Freedom Ring. That is right, the gigantic Let Freedom Ring. There it is. So, a few things to know about this. This is on a piece of specialty hand-dyed Monaco fabric that I had specially dyed for this project. It is on a half-yard piece because it is huge on 28 counts, but I wanted it huge because I wanted it to make a statement. So
look at
raise it up
this.
some so you can see the bottom. So I have started over here, as you can tell, the big building is here started. So I have the middle big section building to do next. So yeah, it's
Gorgeous.
I really love it. To see it in person is so much better than what any video or photo is going to take of this.
And I will tell you, looking at the chart, I don't do pieces like this. I would not be inspired to do a piece like this. When I see this, I'm in love with this piece. Every single part of it is just
so check out
gorgeous.
the dimension in the even in the trees in the building in the corner. And yes, this the wards here are all 1/1. So yeah, I really have loved it. I've seen a lot of people say they're not stitching the border that goes around it. I'm stitching the entire thing, every gosh darn little bit of it, because it's like one of my faves.
Oh,
yeah.
I could look at that forever. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I knew as soon as I saw the pattern that I had to stitch it, and I bought it right away, but it took me quite a while to figure out what I was doing about
Didn't you go
fabric.
through a couple pieces of fabric too? Like
I
you picked
did.
one and then you didn't like it, and
it was between this and a piece of was it Heroic or Ancient, one of those
It
by
was, yeah.
PTP that I had bought as well that I was not really sure about, and then I decided I really liked it on this.
I love it.
Because when it's done, it's going to have that grungy look a little bit to it, right?
But the colors pop on that, and
It
that's
does.
what I like.
It
You've got
does.
such beautiful, vibrant colors on a more muted fabric. It's gorgeous.
And it helps tone down the brightness a little bit because I'm not an overly bright kind of person, so I really
Oh, I
like
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Shoo-wee. All right, your turn.
Okay. This next one is Waxing Wing Designs. I am doing the little cat that is dancing with the moon and the pumpkin, and he looks like he's dancing down the street for Halloween. I've liked this design. The reason why I picked it is because I had this piece. This is a hand-dyed piece of Lugana. This is where I'm at on it. I only have the top and the side started with the pumpkin. This is the first time that I ever started stitching 1/2.
Okay.
So it took me a while to get in a groove of it. This is something that I will probably just do a little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay.
If I finish it for next Halloween, great. If I don't, that's okay. But I still love it, and I think the fabric's going to be really cool, as you can see all the variegation and the black on it.
I think that's going to be awesome.
So just, I do love this project.
That is going to be so pretty on that.
And this is an oldie but a goodie too. I think it is, oh goodness, like another 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, what you got next?
My next one is the thing that everyone is stitching. Coming to America by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Here's the pattern. And here you go. I'm ashamed of this because I have so much done and I didn't get it done in 2020.
Oh, stop.
But it is what it is. So we're going to start the top. There's my top. This is on the 36 count vintage country mocha.
It is beautiful.
Which is the called for. I have all the names done. I'm trying to roll here, folks. I don't know. So what I have left to do still is basically the bottom motif that's got the another portion of a ship and people at the bottom of it. And then I will be finished. I'm really hoping that I can get this done sooner rather than later. I'll talk more in depth about how I'm planning on doing that in our next video.
Great.
When we do our plans video.
Because our next video coming up, we are hoping to do by January 1st, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be cross-stitch organization tips, how she's organized, how I keep my stuff organized. If I can clean up my craft room, which I'm really going to try because I do have time off of work, we'll tour my craft room and plans, right?
That's
We're
right.
going to kind of map out our plans for next year. She is very organized with plans and keeps track of stuff. Me, I'm off the cuff. Ooh, squirrel, that looks great. Ooh, squirrel, that looks great. So I want to be more deliberate in my stitching this year. So we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, you got another one?
I do. So, this is my beast. It is called Betsy Ross. It is by Cross Stitch Collectibles. It is similar, I would say, probably to what you would see in a Haid, because the stitch count for this is 317 by 277.
Wow.
And it is full coverage.
It's, wow.
My hope is to get this finished and to hang this next to that Freedom Ring.
Yes.
So this is the bottom right because that's the way I roll. Oops, wait, I've got needles caught here. There it is. That's where I'm at so far. So you see some flooring there, pretty much.
Wow.
I love working on this, but it takes, there's like, I think almost 200, I think, 180 probably, different thread colors in
Oh,
this.
wow.
Yes. And it's a lot of confetti stitching.
I was going to say that would be something that would require a lot of concentration.
Yes, yes. But you'll hear in our next video how I plan on trying to tackle this more next year.
Okay. My next little stitch, so my printer gave out, so I believe most of you have seen this. It's, you can tell me, Housewives with the Holidays. It's the cute little gingerbread house with the boy and girl. And this is what I have done. Of course, I'll get this finished for next year. I would like to do more of their little gingerbread ornaments because my other tree in the family room is all gingerbread and candy. So I would like to add these to that tree. But very cute little stitch. There's so much of Priscilla and Chelsea's that I want to stitch that I actually decided for our plans video. I really want to kind of look and decide like what my top priorities are. Because I can stitch everything. I like holiday stitching, so I can stitch everything of theirs, but I really need to make some priorities.
Okay. All right.
So that's that.
Okay. My next one is from Annie B's. This is the first Annie B's project I have stitched. And I'm just going to say her chart is amazing. It's very easy to follow.
Oh, good.
I really enjoy stitching on it. It's called Little Pink Houses. It's the name of the chart. Oh, here. Let's sit this way so you can actually see it. Susan, I have talked about this before, but I'll go over it again really quick. Both of these houses, you stitch them regular cross stitch in a lighter color pink, and then you go back over them with a darker color, bigger cross stitch. I'm waiting to do the darker color after I get done because I'm not sure if I want them both to be a darker, or if I just want one of them to be, or if because you'll see what I've stitched so far. I really like the color of the house as is.
I do too.
I'm not so sure yet.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So there it is. I really do like this. It's got that white, like lacy looking stuff at the bottom, which makes it look very dainty. I really enjoy this. But this is one of those pieces, I will say this, that when it comes to, even if you don't typically highlight a chart as you're stitching it, when it comes to doing this lacy stuff at the bottom, it's helpful to highlight it, otherwise you lose track of where you're at pretty easily. So yeah, great.
Very cute. And you've got one more?
Apparently I do.
We're doing 2 of Beth for 1 of me because she clocks me on the WIPs.
Yes, I have a lot. Plumpkin by Lizzie Kate is my next one. It's a small snippet.
Oh, that's so
I am doing it on Black Ada. I have a what's it called, Light Effects DMC. That's that raspberry reddish color that I'm going to do the shoes in when I'm done with everything else.
Now, is that all called for colors?
Because
I love the hat. I love that hat's bluish green. Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, that's darling.
I think I used the called for colors on this. I think I did use. I think it's all. I'm doing it all in DMC though, so
that's
it's
awesome.
Not
looks cute.
Variegated, but you could substitute colors if you wanted, even
Very
make
cute.
it more foolish.
Okay, my next one is Priscilla and Chelsea's Booty You, and this year one of my realizations, I absolutely love PTP Ada. I'm usually not a fan of Ada because I personally don't like stitching on a stiff fabric. I like a very soft in hand fabric. Even though I do use a hoop or a Q-snap, I still like a really soft fabric. So I have the top portion done. This is PTP Ada. I don't know if it's chalk. It might be like a smoke color. And
It's very pretty.
I don't know where I got it, but I thought this was cool. The only thing is I did start on the purple using DMC. I thought I was just, because I did the top in DMC, not in Fancy Floss, and then I realized the purple was so dark in DMC that it didn't show up against this. So I found a different color that I'm going to use because I want to see the purple.
Yeah.
But very cute. Again, this will be one that I'm going to try and get done next year.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so my next one is a Blackbird design. It's called Eleanor Rigby. I am customizing this, so I'm going to talk about that for just a minute. So I started stitching on this, and I had already stitched the 1904 down here at the bottom because I really thought that I was going to just stitch it as is when I first started. And the longer I stitched on this, the more I knew I wanted to do something different with it. So what I'm doing differently with this is that I am stitching everything else like it goes, but I'm putting my maternal grandmother's name here and her birth and death date, and my maternal grandfather's name here and his birth and death date, and then I'm putting their last name here with a 1904.
Oh, nice.
To commemorate them. I haven't decided yet or not, but they had 3 children, my mother and another daughter and a son. I might decide to put their initials somewhere around up in here. I I haven't made that decision as of yet, but that might be what I add to this as well. And I'm getting pretty close to this. If I just sat down and tried to finagle my way through, I could probably get this finished in a couple days' time.
So pretty.
So it really is a quick stitch. It is on a piece of 28 count new khaki, I think, or something, Lugana. I'm gonna say this. I have come to love 36 and 40 count, but I have a lot of 28 count stuff in my stash, and I refuse just to chuck it. So I will use it and stitch on it, but it is what it is. All right, so your turn.
Okay. Let me grab Ruby.
Just a moment.
Ruby, come here.
Let me stop
Okay. No, we'll just keep going.
Where's the other one? Let me have one.
Sorry.
Let's share. They're gonna make their debut.
Okay. Okay, just relax a moment for mommy. Okay, next thing I'm stitching. Sorry about the dog interruption. This is Lizzie Kate, and it is called Spring Alphabet. This has been in my WIP pile, and last weekend I wasn't sick. I was just tired, and so I literally spent the weekend in my PJs stitching, and I got so much done.
That's good.
I'm so excited. I am at the letter S. Okay, get down. I'm at the letter S, as you can see. And I love the way this is turning out. It is on a lavender Lugana. And I am not using all the called for colors because I had some dinky dye silks that I wanted to use up. So some of the olive green is what I'm using. So that's that.
I love that. That is so pretty.
This I'm going to truly focus on in the month of January because I want to get it framed and up for Easter this year.
Yes. I think
And I'm
that's
close.
beautiful.
I'm so close. Okay, come here, Teddy Betty.
All right, my next one is by Prairie Schooler. It's called the Pumpkin Patch. It is the larger sampler here. This one. It's the pattern. And this is on a piece of, I think it's either 18 or 16 count Darvos. I've decided this. I found some in my stash.
Oh, very
I know
good.
that it's Darvos now. Natural kind of colored. So there it is. I'm working on the
Ooh,
bottom
you
of
have
the
a lot
pumpkins.
I mean, to get the whole bottom done, now you know the size of it.
For, especially for, like, that's a Darktober stitch, right? So I
Yeah.
stitched on it maybe 1 or 2 days. And then my other one is Midnight Watch by Blackbird Design. Here it is. I love stitching on this piece. I have quite a bit done. There it is.
Very nice.
I know I've got 2020 put in here already. I am not frogging that out and changing it to 21. It just will be what it will be. But I really love this piece.
Very nice.
Okay, you want to take one or you got it?
We'll see how we do. Next one up, this is a Samsara chart called Hope Blooms.
That is so cute.
It is based on a phrase by Lady Bird Johnson, and the phrase says, "Where flowers bloom, so does hope." And I'm stitching this to put it into my office at work because I have my other one that says, "Today is a good day to have a good day."
Yeah.
And I thought these are nice to have work pieces. This is done on a 16 count piece of Mystic by Misty Fabrics. She's on Facebook and she dyed this, and it looks gray to your viewing, but it's actually a really pretty kind of muted purple.
It is. It is
The
very
cool
much
part
so.
about this chart is Samsara designed the chart to when the colors of DMC 1 through 35 came out. This chart has all of the 1 through 35 colors in it.
Okay.
So it's more of purplies and kind of grays, some yellows, and some greens. And it was specifically designed to use all 35 of the brand new colors.
I love this. This is very pretty.
And I actually love this hanger that they have, so I might go online and see if I can find the hanger. This has been my stitching at work lunch piece because, as you can see, everything's kind of like in big one color blocks here, so
Right.
it doesn't require too much attention, and I can quickly get like a little square done here, a little square done there.
I love that.
The next thing I'm stitching on, which, okay, I thought this was going to be a present for my son-in-law, and don't ask me, he loves Golden Girls. It's a fun show to watch. So I'm going to flash this. Can I flash it real quick?
I would flash it.
Because this is from an Etsy shop. It's real quick, Golden Girls, all 4 of them, and it says, thank you for being a friend. Now, I started stitching the little gal, and see how hard it is to see her on this?
Yeah.
Like, this was going to be a Christmas present, just as a funny thing for Jason to put up in the office. I may finish it and give it to him for his birthday next August, but I thought, like, that's supposed to be Rose of the Golden Girls, and I thought she would show up a lot better. And I mean, her blonde hair is like yellow, but see how hard it is to see her? And I don't know that I want to outline all these people, so I'm
It's like the fabric, I feel like, is maybe a little bit too light colored.
Yes.
Because then it makes them all look washed out.
But then they had it stitched, like the model stitch was on a pale gray. And I thought, well, that doesn't show up that much better either. So
you almost need to do that on a darker fabric.
So this might be a ditch it. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I'll still work on it, or maybe I'll eventually do it. And then I thought, well, I have Rose done. Maybe I would just outline her and make her into a Christmas ornament and put it in.
Okay, my dog cannot watch this video because
Yes.
she will go berserk if she sees me.
Okay,
with
you have 2
someone else.
more, and I have 2 more.
Oh wow, that's perfect.
We're doing good. Okay, I'll take him. You know,
I don't know. He came to me. I don't know if he's going back to you very easily.
my puppies are missing my attention. They're saying, Mom, you should be sitting in the recliner right now.
Yeah, they are. I get it. So this is Stitching with the Housewives, Calvin and Clyde.
Oh, that's so cute.
There he is. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 14 count gray something from Hobby Lobby I bought.
Nice.
I think that's going to show up pretty nicely. The white shows up much better in person, I think, than what it's showing up on in the photo. But yeah, there it is. And then my last one is Trick or Treat by Stitching with the Housewives. It is, and I'm doing this one on a piece of 14 count black Ada. There you go. That is the big pumpkin.
Lovely. He's big.
He is big. He's quite large. Okay, that is my 24, folks.
Okay, last up, I have Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew. I adore this. I have been remiss in giving it attention. I think I started it 2 years ago. I am stitching it. This is what I have done. It's on a piece of Murky Lugana. I love the fabric. I love the design. I just got to get back into it. So I'm definitely going to clean out the project bag and kind of, now that it's ironed, I love it. But I really want to get working on this and get it done. Because even when I showed it to my husband was like, that is the coolest chart. And I said, yeah, it is.
I really like that. And I like that fabric it's on. I think that's cool.
Okay, last WIP.
All right, this is the thing that I'm envious of because I love this pattern and I love your work on it.
Lady of the Flag. I started this 2 years ago. I even bought a Lowry stand because I thought I would need it. Guys, I personally have not used my Lowry stand. Not that I won't in the future, but this is where I'm at with Lady of the Flag. It is on the We the People fabric, which is an even weave, 28 count. Now, why have I not done more on this in 2 years? Because I did not listen to Beth and make a photocopy of my chart. And I sat there with the original chart and I really tried to follow it, which is hard to follow. I even had the magnetic board with the magnet going down line by line, still hard to follow. And just this week, I made photocopies of all the pages, and I'm going to mark out what I've done and do it the Beth method and highlight as I go. Because this flag to me is so big, and I know I'm going to be in the same situation with her dress. I cannot keep track of where I'm at, and then I get frustrated, and then I put it away. And I should not put this away because it's so cool.
Yeah.
So, plus Beth's waiting for the pattern. So,
She's She said she would pass it.
I'm
Since
going
it's
to
an
pass
out
it,
of print,
yes.
right?
So, you know, I got to get moving on that. But anyway, chop, yeah. And I love it. You know, I absolutely love it. So every time I see somebody online complete it, I'm like, God, I got to get my crap together and do it. So we're going to try. So I hope you enjoyed our WIP parade. I hope the doggies weren't too much of a distraction. You know, we try to distract them.
Right,
but
right.
They love us and they love Beth and miss their mama. So
So I think that only having 24 WIPs, like when Susan and I started talking about doing this video, and she said, well, how many WIPs do you have? And I said, probably 50, right? And then when I got them out and I started counting them, and I thought, how do I only have 24? What is happening? Well, what happened is that, you know, I haven't worked a good portion of this year. So I have gotten to stitch a lot more than what I had really thought I had. And I don't know exact number, but I probably had in the range of 75 to 100 new starts this year.
yeah, you've been busy.
So to only have 24
yes.
true WIPs. Now I will say this, I have probably another 12 to 15 that are kind of WIPs but not really, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm stitching them all separately. They're all on separate pieces of fabric, and I may have one of the series done. Like a good example of that is that Snow Village thing, that set of ornaments. Like I have 2 or 3 of them done.
Yeah.
They're completely done, but I have the fabric cut and everything ready for the other 3 or 4 that are there. But that's not really a whip because it's not in the middle of stitching, right? And it's on separate pieces of fabric. So I'm not counting them as whips. I will count them as new start pieces when I start the next piece of that in 2021. So our next video, as Susan alluded to, will be sometime between Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
While Susan is off work, we will get together and do a video. And it will be all about our plans and organizational stuff. So I will personally go through kind of how I organize my stuff, my things. I will show you my binder, if you will, of all my new stuff set up and ready to go. And I will also show you my layout and my plan for the first quarter of 2021. I kind of have an overall vision of 2021, but I will lay out kind of what I'm going to do for the first quarter, because I don't like to go too much detail further than that, because if I do, then I set myself up to have to do major changes down the road.
Yeah. And I think organization-wise, we're very different in how we organize, so that's why we thought a video would be cool, because both ways work. It's just a matter of just what works for you. You know, there's no set way, there's no cross-stitch rules. It's you do what works best for you.
And I will say this, in my 30 years of stitching, I have changed how I do all of that a lot. I'm even changing what I'm doing this year compared to what I had done in years previous.
Yeah.
So a lot of that depends on what kinds of things I'm participating in, events and such. So we'll cover all of that in our next video, which will be in the next couple of weeks.
All right.
So I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And I hope you've enjoyed our WIP parade today. Make sure you leave some comments down below.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.